This has got to be something here that makes you like, what? Really? They really associating this with Freemasonry. Let's go ahead and start off. T-Pain. T-Pain's top hat. Alrighty, T-Pain's top hat. It seems that if you wear a top hat and you're in the music industry, that you must be a Freemason. Why? Well, it is true that the master of the lodge is the only person in the lodge that can wear something on his head, and most of the time it is a top hat, depending on, I guess, who you talk to. It doesn't necessarily need to be a top hat, and he actually doesn't even need to wear it, but he does have the privilege of wearing one within the lodge. So let's talk about the top hat. Let's talk about T-Pain and using the top hat. 19th century and 18th, 19th century dandies, basically, they were these upper class guys that loved to just look nice, and they had a certain look about them, and something that made them really stand out was the top hat. Now, if you compare T-Pain's outfits with the 19th century dandies, then you'll just come to find that it's more related to him trying to be the modern, bedazzled dandy of, our age. So if you look at these pictures here, and you'll come to understand that really quickly. But the idea of the top hat being a Masonic symbol, it's not a Masonic symbol. And besides, the only person that can wear that is the master of the lodge. And unless T-Pain is the master of his Masonic lodge that I'm not sure that he goes to, then that really doesn't have any, shouldn't have any relationship there. So that's just something to think about. Oh yeah, here we go. One of my favorites, handshakes. So it seems that if you take a picture of any world leader having a handshake, greeting another world leader, or two hip-hop artists, or hip-hop artists and basketball players, if you show the picture, if you take a snapshot of them shaking hands and you put a square and compass above that, people will automatically think that they are related. A handshake, I mean, let's face it, it's not Masonic, but you throw that above it, people will make that connection. That's just I mean, let's try to use our ability to critically think, okay? Do you know what the Masonic handshake is? Do you know what the grip is? Do you know how to perform that grip? If not, then how are you going to view a picture and be able to say that that is a Masonic handshake if you cannot perform that grip after you viewed the picture? I mean, there are a number of grips. There is not one handshake. If you look at these pictures here, can you tell me what handshake that they are doing? I highly doubt that you will be able to do that. Oh man. Oh yeah. So why? Let's talk about the purpose between handshakes. Suppose that Jay-Z was a Freemason, and suppose that Kanye West was a Freemason. What then is the purpose of their handshake? In Freemasonry, if you yourself, let's say that you're a Mason, and you visit our lodge, it is our responsibility to make sure that you are a Mason before we allow you to, take part in the rituals or view the rituals that we're performing that night. Okay? So in order to know that you are a Mason, there's certain things besides the handshake. All right? There are certain things besides the handshake that need to be performed, things that need to be done, said, doesn't matter. But we need to make sure that you are a Mason before you're able to view these rituals. So what purpose is it then for you to do a handshake with someone else that you know is a Mason, a Masonic handshake with someone that you know is a Mason outside of the lodge? Let's talk about this. Suppose Jay-Z was a Freemason. Big deal. Who really? What difference does that make? Right? So what is the purpose of supposedly Freemasons, these whoever they are, 'cause there's millions of them, going up to these rappers and asking them to secretly be a part of a fraternity that you can openly be a part of? What's the purpose in it? Why would Freemasonry need Jay-Z? What does Freemasonry have without Jay-Z that they gain by having Jay-Z? And furthermore, what do they gain by having Jay-Z be a secret Freemason? You would think that if Freemasonry really was to gain anything, it would be for him to be a Freemason out in the open. and have positive thoughts on the fraternity. So that way more, worthy men could actually join the fraternity or be interested in the fraternity enough to seek information. But what is the purpose? What have we gained so far? Supposedly Freemasonry is behind all of these great artists, and even up to Lady Gaga. And I've seen her being mentioned because of the her blindfold, and I mean just a whole ton of other things. But it seems like all these dots are being connected randomly. What is the purpose of it? What does Freemasonry gain? Well, I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. If you guys have any other ideas as to what I should talk about, go ahead and leave that in the comment section as well. And if I missed something, if I missed a great piece of evidence that proves that these people are Masons, go ahead and leave that in the comment as well. And I don't mean this video to be, starting any arguments or something like that. This isn't intended for that. I'm just providing information about the symbols themselves. Alrighty. And, there's one other symbol. There's one other symbol I left out. It's also a Buddhist symbol. You'll see artists doing this a lot. Okay. Now, it is a Buddhist symbol. Are these artists doing this because it's a Buddhist symbol? Are they doing it because of the meaning behind? And you know what? It doesn't even, the eye has nothing to do with it. It's simply that. You can do it anywhere. But that's what it is. It's a symbol, and I have that here as well. Let me go ahead and bring that out. If you don't believe me, let me go ahead and read you what that is. That is the gesture of argument or debate. What that has to do with rapping and rappers and bling bling, I'm not really quite sure. But let's go ahead and talk about this. It's called the Vitarka. Vitarka Madra is a symbol for the intellectual discussion or debates. And I think I'll leave that there. Intellectual discussion or debates. Something tells me these rappers probably aren't having that. They're doing this. Alrighty. Alright, thanks you guys. You guys have an excellent day or night depending on where you are. And go ahead and stick around for some more videos. I should have some more coming up soon. Thanks.